Hey everyone, Cyrix here, and welcome back to Gabriel Knight. Specifically, welcome back to the death screen. This is the first time it is possible for us to die. We are 17 videos in, and this game, which is full of murder and voodoo and mystery, and it's a Sierra game, or at least it used to be. It took this long for us to even be able to die. Yes, this is the first time it is possible for you to die. In the last video, we went to go visit Dr. John, and instead we got attacked by a snake. I will not replay the scene, but if you remember, of course we're going to go back. We have to figure something out. It's just going to be difficult because it happens very quickly. So Gabriel comes in.
Why is it so dark in here?
And there will be a snake that comes and attacks Gabriel, and we know.
Dr. John? Hello?
We know from earlier visits that turning on the fan really irritates that snake, and it's right there. The switch for it's right there. So as we're struggling, let's see if we can go and hit that switch.
You bastard!
He does not like that. And instantly,
Hey, Mr. Knight.
Dr. John comes
Thing
back.
just tried to kill me.
He did. I am sorry. The museum is closed today, you see. We were not expecting visitors. But if you will excuse me, Mr. Knight, I must go look for him. He is incredibly valuable.
You don't need to ask twice. I'm out of here. By the way, you might want to lock your door the next time you're closed.
Not a bad idea. Goodbye, Mr. Knight.
Yeah. That would probably be good. Can we go back?
Posted on the door of the museum is a sign saying, closed today only. This time the door is actually locked.
Good for him. Okay, so we are still on a quest to reopen the Voodoo Murders case. We need to give Mosley enough evidence that they are still a threat. And today, I believe the really big place to go to, I know it's really big, but it's a place to go to. The Moonbeam residence should be open to us today. Yes. It's been available for so long, it's just we couldn't go there.
Welcome, Seeker. You must be the one Dr. John called me about.
I guess so. My name is...
Wait! Gabriel Knight.
You're too quick for me.
Actually, Dr. John told me. You have come to the right place, Mr. Knight. Tell me how I can help.
A little weird because in the original, Dr. John actually did refer us to her. In this game, we found her from a flyer, and really, Dr. John had no idea we were attempting to go see her. Unless he was kind of preemptively saying, hey, this creepy guy is going to come and talk to you. I don't know. But let's talk to her. Also, she has a snake as well. Let's look at the snake first.
A large, sluggish snake rests on the floor of the fancy bird cage. Apparently, Magenta is not a fastidious housekeeper. A shed skin shares the cage with its original owner.
Because one thing we do know we need to do is, I think we need to tie the snake scales. Is it the shed skin? No. We found a snake scale at the murder scene, and I think we want to tie that to the voodoo murders. But we can't because we haven't found any yet, so we're going around collecting snake scales, and we did not get one from being attacked, unfortunately. We have one from Madame Lorelai's veil, which does not match this, and the game confirmed it.
The iridescent scale is hued olive green. It doesn't seem to match the scale from Lake Pontchartrain.
So we may want to, at some point, try and get a scale from this snake to compare it. But we can't do that right now. We can't take it.
Magenta's snake looks a little sickly, but Gabriel would still rather not stick his hand in the cage.
Probably a good idea. Let's just talk to her.
Could I ask you a few questions?
Of course, Seeker.
And again, we have a lot of things to talk about, but if I think about it, after her, I really think there is only one or two other people that we have huge dialogues with. So yeah, the really long dialogues begin to stop, and then we get more into puzzle solving, which I am obviously more a fan of.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
My practice is mainly selling charms and potions with magic power, such as gree-gree and voodoo oils. You know, everything from unrequited love to wandering spouses to winning a lawsuit. But my spells and charms are powerful, and they work.
I'm sure they are. Yeah, she's more of the touristy voodoo type.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
Much of a voodooienne's work is protecting her clients from the spells of others. I make special protective gree-gree to be worn in secret. They keep evil spells from working against my clients.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
The recipes for voodoo charms have been handed down from master to apprentice for centuries.
Lots to talk about.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
I have told you all it is proper for you to know, Mr. Knight.
Well, what about the murders?
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
Why, that has nothing to do with me and my clientele. But I can tell you that you should stay as far from it as possible. There is badness there. Very bad.
So you don't think the voodoo aspects of the case are fake?
Fake? Let me tell you about fake. If I get information through the grapevine and make use of it, is that fake? No. That is part of a voodooienne's power. If people don't believe, there's not much I can do. But if they do believe, that is a part of my power too. But there are things, monsieur. Things not even a little bit fake, I can tell you. Believe it or not, but stay away from it.
She seems a little suspicious about what's going on. You have unlocked gree-gree.
What do you mean? Do you know something about the case?
I work hard on fine-tuning my spiritual antennae, Monsieur Knight. And I get a clear signal from that direction. Beware.
Okay.
What can you tell me about Nolans?
Nolans is the center of voodoo practice in the United States.
What can you tell me about Nolans?
It is a fascinating city with many dark secrets.
What can you tell me about Nolans?
It is my favorite place in the world.
And though it's expired, what about snakes? You clearly have one.
Do you know anything about snakes?
Snakes? You mean like my beloved Grimwald? She's a python, you know. Quite deadly in the wrong hands. I was trained by one of the great voodoo queens to learn how to hypnotize and handle snakes.
Tell me more about snakes.
Oh, I wouldn't want to give away my trade secrets.
Yeah, you're a jerk. That's St. John's Eve, which is in gold.
What's the significance of St. John's Eve?
St. John's Eve. It is the greatest night of the voodoo year. There is always a traditional conclave on St. John's Eve. Most of our voodoo churches these days hold functions in the church hall. But in the old days, they had ceremonies out in the wild. They wore animal masks and had a huge bonfire and dancing. I used to go when I was an apprentice. Sometimes in the swamp, you know, Bayou St. John. Sometimes at the lake, Lake Pontchartrain.
Well, that was the murder scene. That can't be necessarily good.
Do you have any idea what Kabri Sankar means?
No, I don't.
You may or may not be lying.
Do you know anything about Veves?
I don't know anything about that.
Do you know anything about Marie Laveau?
Oh, yes. She was the first of the great voodoo queens.
That's all you have to say about her, apparently. Well, you didn't mention animal masks, so...
Tell me about the animal masks.
I saw them used once or twice when I was younger, but you don't see them much anymore. They're too close.
Too close to what?
Just bad karma.
Okay, what about this, hound for?
Do you know anything about a secret voodoo houndfall?
There are many voodoo churches in Nolans, no?
Yes, but have you heard of a secret voodoo houndfall?
Wherever did you hear such a ridiculous story? There is no such thing.
Okay. I totally believe you.
Do you know anything about black voodoo?
It is the oldest, darkest heart of voodoo.
Do you know anything about black voodoo?
There are some things it's better not to know about, Monsieur Knight.
But we want to know about them.
Does Ogun Badagri mean anything to you?
I don't know anything about that.
I don't want to talk about that. I don't know. I honestly don't remember if she knows any of this.
Have you ever heard of Dambala?
I don't know anything about that.
Very unlikely she knows anything about this.
Have you ever heard the word Schattenjäger?
I don't know anything about that.
She's giving us a lot of generic I don't know.
Dr. John tells me you're a voodoo practitioner of some kind?
No, he didn't.
Yes, I'm a voodooian, a voodoo priestess.
I don't think Dr. John ever mentioned you.
Nice place you've got here.
Thank you. For me, it's a sort of temple.
I can see that. Do you get many people in here on an average day?
Some days, the need for my power is greater than others. But I have many regular clients who would be lost without my vision, Mr. Knight.
I can imagine.
Will you tell us why you were closed for 4 days?
That's a great-looking mask on the wall.
It's from Africa. A gift to me from Queen Tabitha.
Do you know Dr. John well?
Oh, yes. We are old friends. Those with gifts are often drawn together.
So let's say I came to you wanting to attract a woman. What would you advise?
I wouldn't think you have any trouble attracting women, Mr. Knight.
No, I guess I don't.
Of course not.
So what advice do you give your clients?
I tell them to follow the light, be aware of the darkness, and always get expert spiritual advice from someone with the sight.
That's what I thought you'd say.
Okay, chat is gone. Let's talk about herself.
Tell me about yourself.
Yes? What would you like to hear?
Lots of things.
How did you get into this business?
I trained in the voodoo arts for many years with the great Queen Tabitha.
Really? Who's she?
You have never heard of her? For shame. I can see you know little of the world of magic.
I'm beginning to get that impression, yes. What kind of people come to see you?
Seekers after the truth, such as yourself.
Do you do anything else?
I'm a voodooian. That is plenty. It takes much spiritual effort.
So far, we're not really getting a whole lot out of her.
How many voodooians are there?
No one knows exactly. Many practice in secret. There are probably hundreds. But of course, the level and the power of the voodooians differ greatly, depending on their training and natural gifts.
And the catch-all anything at all.
Tell me anything at all.
I haven't always lived in Nolans. I came here from Kansas as a young woman.
Tell me anything at all.
I began studying voodoo more than 20 years ago. I'm well versed in the magical arts.
Tell me anything at all.
Many non-believers come to me. They are usually believers when they leave.
Tell me anything at all.
Dr. John sends me many seekers, such as yourself.
He didn't send us.
Tell me anything at all.
I am happy here with my clientele and my snake.
Well, that's
I
it.
can't think of anything.
Very well.
Now, I am skipping this for now. Let's talk about Grigri.
Give me an example of Grigri.
All right, here's an old one. Take a lodestone and some brimstone to a crossroads at midnight. Light the brimstone with a match. A spirit will come and give you advice in gambling.
Everybody could use that.
Give me an example of Grigri.
Here's an old hoodoo, Dr. Grigri. Place a dime under your client's tongue. If the client is under a spell of any kind, the dime will turn black.
And they'll get sick because of all of the people handling that dime prior to him.
Give me an example of Grigri.
To send someone away, take a rotten egg and write that person's name on it 9 times. You can also write on it where you want to send that person to. Take it and throw it against his door at midnight.
Interesting.
Give me an example of Grigri.
Here's a nasty one. To kill someone, get a sock or shoe that belongs to that person. Put graveyard dirt in it and bury it under their front steps.
Does that work?
I don't know. I never tried it.
That's a little creepy.
Give me an example of Grigri.
To ensure the safety of your child, cut a lock of its hair while it is still a baby and keep it with you. The child must have all its hair before it can die.
These are interesting.
They're very old. The Grigri that I prepare is much more powerful, I can assure you. But I don't give out those secrets.
So she's just telling us generic things that apparently everybody in Voodoo knows.
Give me an example of Grigri.
To ensure the safety...
These are interesting.
Okay, so we're just gonna repeat
They're
that.
very old.
Okay. Well, we skipped talking about Grimwald, which is the snake.
About Grimwald.
What about her?
Oh.
Where did you get Grimwald?
She belonged to a traveling reptile show. She was being terribly mistreated, so I offered to buy her. She's named after a spirit guide I had once. The spirit Grimwald was a very powerful female snake priestess in Egyptian times.
Grimwald doesn't sound Egyptian.
I only know what the spirits tell me, monsieur. I am sure they know better than we.
Maybe.
How did you learn how to handle Grimwald?
I told you, a great voodoo queen taught me. She learned from Marie Laveau herself.
Uh-huh. Fascinating.
I'm sure that happened.
Would you consider giving me one of Grimwald's scales?
No, I couldn't do that. You might do some gree-gree of your own, no? One must be very careful with such things. Hair clippings, nail parings, and snake scales.
Are you sure
I told
you
you,
wouldn't consider...
I couldn't
How
do
about
that.
showing me how you handle Grimwald?
Oops.
Really? You would like to see me dance, perhaps?
That would be swell.
No matter what you see, do not be frightened.
I'll give it my best shot.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I'll try not to be scared, but... Okay, I'm frightened. Same music that we heard when what's her name, Madame Lorelei did the same sort of thing, and we have control here. So I'm gonna see if we can possibly maybe sneak a scale out of there. You're not really doing much dancing. You're just kind of holding your snake and wiggling. Is that
Gabriel grabs the shed snake skin while Magenta is otherwise occupied.
is that considered dancing? And would you please stop? Thank you.
There. Truly inspiring, isn't it?
That's certainly one word for it.
I'm certainly inspired. Let's finish our chat.
Could I ask you?
Certainly. What about her?
Tell me anything at all.
You have to be careful when handling a snake. They're more delicate than they look.
I'll bet.
Yeah, except the one who tried to kill us.
Tell me anything at all.
Many people are afraid of snakes. Isn't that silly?
Totally.
Except when they try and kill you. The game can't assume that you've been to the Voodoo Museum yet, so chances are you're here and you never tried to get, or you never almost got killed.
Tell me anything at all.
Snakes shed their skins from time to time. You have to be especially careful of them when they're shedding.
I'll keep it in mind.
Because people might steal their shed skin.
Tell me anything at all.
Grimwald is very responsive to vibration. She doesn't recognize her name, but if I stomp 3 times, she looks right at me.
Okay.
Nothing. Never mind.
All right.
And that's it with a Moonbeam, unless we have some other things to talk to her about. And we kind of do. Partridge's notes. Let's get a little refresher on that.
Partridge was a doodler.
I don't think we're gonna get much out of that. Wolfgang's letter, Gunter's journal. Oh, did we read that?
Gabriel reads through the pages Wolfgang marked. He reads a...
No,
Gabe...
okay. Oops, okay. Everything's messed up. I actually did not think that I had seen that yet in another video, but I apparently had, and sorry, the game screen is going to be a little messed up because I totally messed everything up. Stop it. Get out. Out. Oh, come on. This game is... Thank you. My apologies. Okay. I really hope I can get back to that, and if not, then I will, in the next video, just go through it again, like restore and save where I haven't seen that. I did not want to get into that right now. I just noticed it there. Snake tattoo, she might know about that.
That doesn't work that way.
No, okay. What about this bracelet that we got a copy of?
Does this mean anything to you?
It's beautiful. I love it.
Have you ever seen anything like this before?
No, but if you know where I can buy one...
Sorry, it would be rather hard to find one these days.
Oh, well, so be it.
So Crash definitely reacted to that, so this kind of gives the feeling that... And Crash was definitely involved in some weird voodoo stuff. This kind of leads me to believe that she is not really involved in that. Clock letter? No. No. What about the Veve? She says she doesn't know anything about Veves, though.
Does this mean anything to you?
These are magical symbols. Deep magic.
Really? Have you seen them before?
No.
Then how do you know they're magic symbols?
Seeker, my eyes are unveiled to see truly that which is in front of me.
Uh-huh. Thanks, tons.
Right. What else? Phone book? No. Brick? No. Voodoo code? Well, first, let's see. Does she have any reaction to her own flyer?
Gabriel can't see a way to use that.
Yeah, I can't either. Let's show her the voodoo code.
Do these symbols mean anything to you?
the voodoo code. It is very secret, yes. I studied it with my mentor, the great Queen Tabitha.
Really? Great. Can you tell me what it says?
I'm afraid I could never translate this code for an outsider such as yourself, Monsieur Knight.
Really? Really? Are you sure?
Are you sure you can't translate this for me?
As I said, it's a very secret code.
Surely you can see I'm trying to learn as much as I can here. How am I supposed to become an insider if you won't help me?
That's true, I suppose. Perhaps if the Loa were to grant you their approval.
How do I get that?
By using my Ask the Loa machine.
A machine?
Yes. A spirit guided me to it years ago in an antique store. And its guidance has never faltered.
What?
I trust it implicitly.
I see.
The spirits often work in mysterious ways, Mr. Knight. If you aren't willing to ask.
What?
No, I'll ask. Let's see here.
What? What the hell is this? No, she's supposed to look at it and think it's interesting and then translate it for us. What the hell is this? Oh my god. Okay. If I even had any idea what this is supposed to say... That can be an S, a pound sign, a D. Oh my god. Assuming an @ sign isn't going to be part of it. T could be @ T or an S. Let's go with T. TIRT. TIL. Tile. Oh my god. What is this? Silent. Looks like this might be color involved too, and I'm colorblind, so this is really a pain in the ass. I think silent. No. Silence. See, yeah, this is all color based. Silence. Rains. Oh my goodness. So we can get an S down here, an F. F-A-R-E. This is really unnecessary to add. I'm guessing the first one is silence. I'm gonna change this. What color is that? I don't know. Oh, goodness. Okay, well, in the next video we're gonna have to figure out... I don't know. This is apparently one of the puzzles they added, and it's a goofy little thing that I really don't like. It is not friendly to colorblind people. Oh, wait, there's a start? Trusted friend? Is that what it said? Trusted friend. Okay. I didn't see that before. Okay. Trusted friend is apparently what we're supposed to make out of this. So in the next video, we'll try and get trusted friend out of this. I might play with it a little bit in between videos because you really don't need to see me fumbling that much. But I'll make sure nothing gets cut out. That's important. So thank you for watching and see you then.